AJ want everything. I'll be the one singing Pando.
Tank.
Melvin Gregg.
This is another episode of Nice and Neat.
I'm Duke.
I'm Omar. I'm Jalon.
I give it all. She want my time, she begging me to give me nigga.
Come on, bro.
Yo, what's the deal, y'all? Hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Gia.
I'm Jalon, and this is another episode of the #1 podcast in all Los Angeles, Nice and Neat. As you can see, we have a very, very special guest today. We have amazing female energy here. We're going to get a lot of questions, a lot of things solved, because, you know, a lot of times, fellas, they say that we don't have women on, or you guys should have had a woman on for that topic, and we got women. So let me make sure I get her intro right. I don't want to mess it up. I wrote a little something down for you, okay? So we have the host of Hill Girl Era, Gia Peppers, DMV native, journalist, Rutgers University alma mater, on-site talent, a believer, a podcaster, amazing human being, an incredible person all around. Just a little bit of background about Gia. I've seen her in some rooms that people are just like very good people in, and I've seen her multiple times, and I said she's a good person too. So let's give it up for Gia Peppers. Welcome, Gia.
Welcome.
What a nice intro. Thank you.
Welcome,
of course.
So much. I'm so happy to be on here because I had y'all on more than that.
Yes.
And that was what, like two years ago?
2 years ago?
Isn't that crazy?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Nasty work, man. But that season, we got nominated for an NAACP Image Award.
Wow.
So
Shout out to you.
y'all helped it because everybody really loved the men's talk.
Okay.
So I hope that we sent a lot of people listening to this because y'all did so great on the episode. So I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Gia. I'm just going straight out the gate.
Here we go.
Straight out the gate, because you have such an incredible podcast, and
Thank you.
A Healed Girl Era, like just creating that space for women is incredible. I do want to ask you specifically, do healed girls date differently?
Yes, and not in a way that's like that you shouldn't approach a girl who's healed. First of all, I feel like healing is a journey that you go on that you'll probably be on for a while. Like healing takes time, it takes processing, it takes internal work, and the internal work is the hardest work. You all know that's the hardest work to do. Like everything else is cool. You can probably do a lot of different things just making different choices, but sometimes when your mindset is stuck in a space, changing it without help is really hard. So I think a lot of people first have to decide where they will get their help from and all those different things, but healed women have been through just enough to know the difference between being treated with respect and treated with love and treated well from a person that values them, instead of a person that might want to be a part of their lives for something different, someone who might not really be that into you. Like, you just see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So some of the patterns that you might see that are like a person that might be not as emotionally intelligent as you want them to be, someone who can't create a safe space for you to have conversations, someone who gets angry at you instead of like allowing you to say what you really feel. Like there are different things that happen that you eventually learn to call out, which is why I think a lot of women who are in therapy prefer to date men who have been to some type of therapy, have done some type of emotional work and those things. It's hard to do. Because I know y'all still catching up to the therapy and men. Not y'all in general. I'm talking about, the brothers.
So I do want to ask you before the fellas jump in. I do want to ask.
I'm scared.
When women are going on their healing journey, I believe that a word that kind of comes up in my head is boundaries, right?
Oh yeah, boundaries.
How can a woman understand when somebody is good for her, but he still kind of is teetering on those boundaries that she may have created for protection?
Okay, break it down for me. Boundaries created for protection. Can you give me an example?
So let's say, for example, if you say, let's say one of your boundaries is, hey, if we're really dating, I hear from you every single day.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Right.
let's just say one day he texts you, you know, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the good morning text that you used to hearing,
Yes.
or you used to seeing. So from there, you created a reaction, or you created how you feel based off of that, and you be like, "That's a boundary for me. I'm cutting that off." Right? So let's say, where is the space where you're like, you know what, I could flow with that a little bit more, because I feel like all three of us, even in dating our women, we have probably done things that were across their boundaries, but they're like, but that's a good man though.
Yeah.
So how do you identify that? You know, for all of our women listening.
I mean, first of all women are different. We don't all, subscribe to the same thing. I think most importantly, like you said, your women probably saw that you were a good person. And they probably asked, hey, did something happen to you this morning? Are you okay? I missed your text. Instead of just saying, you ain't text me, Like, it was...
It be that. It be that.
Some of it. Sometimes, but eventually you start to be like, something's going on there. Why didn't you all right? Something happened at work. You get a bad call this morning. Were you tired? You was up late watching YouTube. Like, what was going on? Like, usually there's a conversation there that's a little bit more, you're leading with the space of, because we as women have hard days too. Sometimes we not about to wake up, on time and feel like texting in the morning either. So sometimes instead of being like, oh, he's not getting a text from me, it's really like, woo, I had a hard morning. I just need to put my phone on D&D and just sleep an extra hour or whatever, right? So you would want somebody to meet you with understanding in the same way. So I think it's really, I think people get healing mixed up with this really rigid boundaries that get set that aren't always true. Sometimes you set boundaries for safety and protection, but usually it's because you've been hurt in a situation. So if that person, if you're bringing into a new relationship and you don't bring that baggage, you choose not to bring that baggage with you, you try to explore like what's really there. If this person thinks you're a good person, they're gonna give you a chance. If they see a pattern, they might be like, well, this is the third time I've told you that morning text really mattered to me. Now, mind you, I think that's crazy, but I mean, it's not crazy. I think it's crazy to break up with someone if they don't morning text you every morning, if that is not your thing. Like that might be somebody's thing. I don't know. That might be somebody's thing. It's not my thing. Where it's like, if I don't hear from you by 9:59 a.m., we don't talk anymore. I don't know.
Boundary.
That's not my thing. But that might be somebody's thing, and that might be for different reasons. So for me, it's not that big, but I think when you decide to engage with a person, you understand that everybody's gonna make mistakes. Yeah. And you decide to show up with that person, choose that person, understand that person, before you attack them.
We often hear people say, "Yeah, I'm on a healing journey."
Yeah,
I'm on a healing journey.
Yeah,
but we never hear anybody say, "I'm on the healed." I'm healed.
Right.
Right. So, how do women identify when they are healed? Like, how long should a woman stay on the healing journey, and when does she know is enough time has passed and I'm ready to get back out?
Yeah. Oh, well.
Can I just add to the back of that?
Yeah.
So on that healing journey, is that an off limits?
That depends on the woman, right? Like, so there can be different types of trauma, right? Now, I'm not a therapist. I have a podcast called Healed Girl Era because I get to explore with women who are therapists and then women who have lived their lives out loud in front of us, like a Kelly Rowland or a Danielle Brooks, where we could be like, sis, what was happening for you there, and how'd you get through it? So that way we can all learn how to go through our own eras with some type of inspiration to get through these moments, right? And it has faith leaders, therapists, public figures, all different types of people from all different types of walks of life, so we can find a point that at the end of the day, we are just people choosing to make different decisions so we can show up as our full selves, as our more understanding selves of ourselves, with grace and love for our whole journey. And that's what it is. And I think depending on what type of trauma or heartbreak you've experienced, it could be career heartbreak. So that means you might need to step back from whatever you do for a little while. That might be you had a boyfriend who was unfaithful. So yeah, you might want to step back from dating. You had a father wound that like you cannot get over, and it came up when you were 15, but you just ignored it for 30 years. And now in therapy, your therapist says, that's from your father wound, right? And now it's present for you, so you might need to step back. Like, there's different things that we heal through, and I think that's why it's important to have varying types of conversations, and then therapists who can help you be like, yo, these are the tools that I've recommended to my clients. And so it depends on, for every woman, a different type of situation. For me, myself personally, if I'm going through bouts of sadness and depression, sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, I shut it down. Like, I'd be like, oh, yeah, it's done today. Now, I can afford to do that. Like, I have the privilege of doing that because I'm a journalist and freelance journalist and podcaster. So I can be like, oh, today's not a crazy day. But, like, if I had to be on set, I had to put it back in my closet and get on set, right? Like, y'all understand. Like, if you're not feeling it, if the podcast is set, you got to go put on your coffee, your good smile, and do what you got to do. I know you don't drink coffee. You don't drink coffee, right? Yeah, I remember you saying that on the child. Still hurt from that. But for the most part, I one of my things that I'm actively working on is not shutting everybody out, because I learned as the oldest daughter, you go to your room when you're sad, because nobody, like, I just always was like, oh, I'm just safer by myself. So that's something that I learned in childhood that I still do to this day, that I'm actively learning through therapy to let people be there for me. But sometimes I just need to be in my own thoughts. Like, let me process this by myself. But there are some women, like my little sister, she likes being around people a lot. So she's like, oh, I'm going to go out with my friends. And I'm like, you don't know this person. Like, this not your... She makes friends with everybody. She come in here, y'all will all three be her best friends by the end of the hour. She's just such a sweet and loving person. But we grew up, same household, different experiences. So it really depends on the type of person you are, as what you need to do for your own healing journey, which is why I talk to varying types of women who have varying types of experiences.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's healing journey is interesting, and I feel like sometimes healing is overused.
Right, we are getting to that space.
I feel like it's just thrown around as I'm just going through my process, right? And then also with healing, when I hear women talk about healing, like you mentioned something where it's just like, you shut down. So it's like you almost create a boundary. So shutting down and creating boundaries is kind of parallel, right? But how do you improve as a person though from healing? Not just creating boundaries. Like, what do you get good at? What do you get better at? What does that look like?
So for me, I had to get so fed up with my own behavior that I had to get so sick of myself that I had to call out every little thing and start to act differently. So it's the choices. Eventually you have to get to a space of, okay, how am I playing a part in what's happening and breaking down in my life? Okay. Sadness, depression, anger, they are all information. Those are information. There's nothing wrong with feeling any emotion, like jealousy, envy, all that. It's information. So once you get to the point where you can finally get your head out of the spiral that might happen, you can figure out, okay, so why I'm really angry is because I felt like I gave in this friendship and they didn't reciprocate it. I said I wanted to show up for you and you didn't show up for me. I needed you in that moment and you left me alone. I'm angry because of this. And then once you have that, you can go and figure out, do I approach this person? Do I address it? Am I in a space where I can actually hear them? Can they receive it? Or do we need to not talk right now? Do I need another couple of weeks to really get out of my space because I don't really know how to say what I'm feeling? And so for me, that looks like actionable steps. So once you've been through your process of feeling your feelings, getting those feelings out, because feelings are real. Like, you can really mess your life up on some feelings. Like,
there's a lot of men in prison. Based off of that, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, anger is a real thing that people black out and they don't remember that they, keyed your car, or threw that brick. Like, once the brick is out the hand, the brick is out the hand. Like, it's the thing, right? But eventually, that's why anger management and those different things I think are really important, because a lot of people don't know what to do with their anger. And that's what I mean by you gotta go get help.
As someone who is healed, right?
No, healing. I'm still healing. Healed girl era is just an affirmation that we can be healed, right? So nobody's perfect.
Well, the journey for healing is never probably gonna end then.
I think
it never ends, because you're always going to be learning about yourself at different points of your life. Right?
Sure,
so
right?
as you're healing, right?
Yeah.
And to me, it sounds like, okay, I have the self-awareness to self-reflect and look at my behavior and change my behavior. Is there room for a guy that cares about you to help you correct those behaviors?
Yes, I'm all about it. I'm like, please, what did I do wrong? What did I do? Huh?
Okay.
Because here's the thing. We were just talking about this before. I was single for 400 years, literally. And that's what it felt like. It was probably more like, probably like 6 years of singleness. I've worked very hard in my career. I'm an on-air talent entertainment journalist. I've worked as the in-arena host for the Washington Wizards for 4 seasons. I worked with Essence, BT, Access Hollywood, Today Show. I got very comfortable being the version of me that was like, hey, I'm Gia Peppers. How are you? Mm-hmm. Good to see ya. You're good? Huh? Instead of like a girl that like wants to date and be open. Like I was not that girl. I lived in New York for 8 years and like rarely dated. Like I was very comfortable
hiding behind your career,
hiding in my career. Though I craved love, romantic love, I made the choice a long time ago, and maybe this was societal and all that stuff, but I remember how hard the industry used to be on women and women who dated within sports and entertainment, and how one dude dating one dude, you was the girl that everybody messed with or whatever. And I made the choice a long time ago to be like, I'm not really gonna date in the industry. I did a little bit once I was in it, but I made the choice early on, that's not what I'm gonna do. So if I was at work, you was gonna get work me. Like, even if you were interested, I wouldn't know. I would literally not know. My friends were like, he liked you. I'm like, no, he didn't.
Is this LA?
This is New York.
Okay,
this is New York. So I lived in New York. So I went to Rutgers, and I lived in New York from 2012 to 2020. So, and really didn't get out of my New York apartment probably until 2022. So I was bi-coastal for like those first 2 years. But yeah, like I went on a couple dates, but never, if I was at a work event, which you all know, the industry is weird. There's a fine line between like work events and you outside. Like it
can get blurry.
It could get real blurry.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden,
yeah,
every person that I knew was from the industry. So technically these are my colleagues.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I all the time was, hey, how you doing? Unless we was outside, having fun. But even then, I knew too much about the people at that time.
Yes.
So what I would tell my 25-year-old self was, first of all, don't take dating so seriously. Disney really messed it up for the girls. We really thought somebody was gonna come kiss us out of a sleep and we would find our Prince Charming. Like we really did. We was really blown away when we got to our 20s and they were like, no, there's no one coming to
Well, talk about that. Talk about that. Talk about how that socialization growing up has made women, or men too, but it's made us think we had to act a certain way and then put pressure on the opposite sex to be this person that's really not a reality. What are those things that you're noticing as someone who was influenced by Disney, right? Yeah. That you are now projecting to the men that you're seeking or courting?
Sure, right. I think what happens is, if we're being 100, women raise little girls, but like love on little boys, and like so we're taught you got to do this to be a wife, especially if you grew up in the church. You got to do this to be a wife. You can't be no hoe. You can't do nothing that like sex is wrong. Blah blah blah. Blah. But if you're perfect and you do your work, you'll get a husband. That's it. There's no like nuance. The conversations are changing right now, but coming up, there was no nuance. You were single to husband. That was it. So when you date like that, your energy, my energy, was very like, every date was serious. Yep. I wish I didn't take it so daggone. Not every man is your husband.
Okay.
Nobody told me that until I was like 20-something. And I was like, well, it's too late now. So everything was serious to me. And so when I took it too seriously, it was way easier to show up in my career because, hey.
So when you took dating too serious?
Yes, I took dating too seriously.
And it was easier to show up in your career because of that?
Way easier to show up in my career. Now, mind you, entertainment is not easy. We all know it's not easy out here at all. This is one of the hardest journeys ever. We don't know what the next check is. If you don't got a day job, you don't know when the next check is coming. Like, it's real. Yeah. But I think I trusted myself to be able to show up and get it done, and I could not count on what was going to happen in love. Ever. So I just, at some point,
if you put the work in here in your career, you're gonna yield the results.
I know that.
But putting the work here within your career in your relationship doesn't necessarily yield the results that you want.
Exactly. And I mean, man, we about to get deep in here. But my first experience with like love in high school, like I was did y'all have high school girlfriends, like high school first loves?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't they feel serious? Did they?
Of course.
I don't, but like,
I mean,
no, John.
eighth grade was serious.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
I got married at 4 in preschool. You know what I'm saying? Like
seriously.
it was real to me. I was in it, bro.
I proposed in preschool too.
So you get it. So you've been a husband, you know what I'm saying? Like, so anywho, my first experience with love ended in a really painful way that taught me that I, again through therapy, was able to call it out, taught me that my career is so expensive it costs me love.
Oh, for sure.
My person at that time, who I thought was going to be my person forever, chose not to continue with me because he saw where I was going, and he was like, "Oh nah, this ain't the ride for me. Like I don't want to do all that." So I was like, "Oh." Subconsciously, I was like, "Oh, okay. Love is my sacrifice for this career." That's what I received from that.
That's what that taught you.
That's what that taught me.
Yeah.
I was 17, but it stuck with me until probably my most recent the last probably like 2 years ago. I had a real breakthrough in therapy where I had to really just call it out. Like,
So you dated with that energy,
For
low
sure.
key.
Right,
That's
like-
what subconsciously was there.
Like it was all there,
Yeah.
all of it. Like and maybe I hid behind my career because again that was the trauma I was carrying. Like, oh no, like they gonna leave. Like they not gonna be able to handle your light. So you might as well shine.
Okay.
You might as well do your thing
Okay.
because that's the only place that you can like really find a partner.
So through that process, you feel like you was meeting a lot of people, and you feel like they was intimidated by your success.
Well, sure, yeah. Yeah, that was what
that
people were saying. Like, not, I didn't say that to them. People were saying that to me. Like, and not
People or men?
Men were saying, yeah, she she just be around, because this is when I was working in the league. She worked with the guys, or like, she just got too much going on. Like, it was just always that type of thing. Like, oh, she cool, but she talk about Jesus too much. Like, it was all types of feedback that I was getting. And I was just like, I'm done. Don't even worry about it. Like, I can't control that I love God. I can't control that I work in the league. I can't control any of that. But that was surely one of the things, and I allowed that, to lead me for a while. Like, oh, well, I'm intimidating. But I'm not intimidating.
Right.
So I was just like, no, these just aren't my people.
Yeah.
Sometimes people weed themselves out. And sometimes it was me energetically. So I think it was a perfect storm of all things. Yeah.
I like where we're going. Okay. So I think it's I like to look inward a lot of times when we're talking about these things. We talked about this before. Do you feel like any of the carryover of your conversations that you were having about your career and about the things that you were doing, do you ever feel like you subconsciously had, you're going to leave me anyway, so like, let me lay everything out on the table?
Honestly, what I realized was I was attracting guys that were emotionally unavailable, so that we would never even get there. Like we would never even get to that type of like, you're coming with me on this journey. Like we would never get to that. Like it maybe be a couple dates, probably be like 4 to 5 dates. Post college, it would probably be like 4 to 5 good dates, and then by the 5th date, I would get the good woman speech. Like, oh, you such a good woman. I can't ruin you. I ain't ready for this. And I was like,
why you sound like you was dating 57-year-old? You such a good. Hey, young lady, you need to stop it.
Yeah, go.
Hey, baby, no, it wasn't older men, no, but it was guys my age who were just like, nah, this is a little much.
So you feel like when you said you were single for 6 years, we'll just call it 6.
Let's call it that. It might have been 400.
6,
I don't
right?
know. Couldn't tell you.
Do you feel like you were single by choice or more of like a circumstantial type of thing?
Circumstance. I definitely was living in 2 cities. Like I was living in New York and DC for most of my life. Yeah, like I've always kept a foot in DC, like even living here. So I'm sure that doesn't help me. Yeah, no.
So do you feel like you were prioritizing dating at that time?
I probably.
I know you said you desired it and you wanted it. I think we all desire and want love.
But I didn't do nothing about it for real. Like, if I'm being honest with myself, I was on Hinge and a couple of dating apps. Eventually, I just stuck with Hinge. But then I, like, one day, again, and this is why the journey of, like, knowing yourself or knowing your story is important. Because one day, like a year ago, I was like, how am I going to meet this man that I want unless I put myself out there?
Yeah.
And I looked at my Hinge and there was like 150 hidden messages. And I probably had been on, I was on Hinge probably for like 4 years. I probably had been on like 4 dates. Like, yeah, like, so
You were still taking dates seriously at that time?
Okay, so first of all, Hinge, I have a problem with online dating because I just think everything's catfish. So I think at some point I was like, no, this isn't realistic. Yeah. But then something in me, like this last time, was like, okay. And I met a really great guy that I've been dating for several months from Hinge. So, but I had to be,
great,
but I had to be ready.
My theory about dating apps, I feel like there's no quality men on dating apps.
Do you feel like it's quality women?
I feel like it's much more quality women than quality men.
The numbers would tell you that, yeah.
Right, and the reason I feel like that is because, first of all, quality men don't need help finding dates.
That's a fact.
That's how I feel.
That's a fact.
Right, so that's what my theory has always been. Wow. That, right, so that's why a lot of women are going to be like, "Is it a swipe?"
Yeah, yep,
it's like
yep,
swipe,
yep.
swipe, because it's constantly just like, "Hey, yo, man, like all trash."
What's been your experience?
So I'll speak to LA specifically. The Hinge in LA, what the algorithm puts in your face, it be hurting sometimes. Cause like my friends are good 8, 9s, gorgeous, got things going on, cute, all the things, and they be putting like some people like legit saw somebody in jail. Like
nah.
No. I'm not lying to you. And there's not, brothers in jail, brothers, hold it down, P.O.P. But like there are women who are like super accomplished on there that are amazing and funny and beautiful. And then they give you people who like just don't match with what you're looking for. The algorithm here is very interesting, right? Like in LA, like a lot of my friends who date and travel for work, we like change your location because here, smart. We all know what the sentiment is for black women and black men dating in LA. Like it's y'all are rare.
Well, what is it?
Oh, the sentiment is that the black men's aren't really interested in black women in LA.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's very apparent. I have conversations with my friends all the time, and we'll be like, "Girl, I had to go back to the East Coast to remember I was fine." Because the men out here just don't see it.
So how often are the black men that are interested in you just not up to your standard?
Bingo question.
Because a lot of black people out here, right? Inner city, closer to right. When you come to Hollywood, it's different.
That's what everybody says. Everybody says you need to go below the 10.
But when you go below the 10, right? The circles change. They may not be as financially sound.
Sure.
Right? So things change. So how much of it is the guys who do step to me? They don't meet my standard.
Guys don't step to me. I could be in. I don't know. Guys don't step to me. So I don't know about mine.
Where do you be at? Do you be on that side?
I do. I went to the NaN. I've been to the NaN a couple times. It's lit over there. Y'all been? Lamar Park is it is lit over there. Yeah. So I've been. Okay. Now, mind you, this is once I decided that I needed to diversify my outside experience. Okay. So Hollywood and like the industry of it all, men won't approach me. Maybe if I do go to the NaN more, I'll meet some men.
But in that same breath, based off of what you told us earlier today, do you feel like in those spaces you would probably had your blinders on, maybe more focused on work because of the scene that you were in, being more in the Hollywood and the industry spaces?
I wish the only reason why I say no is because even my friends who aren't working have the same experience. Okay. Like even my friends who are like, I was out at a party at, say it's Must Be Nice. None of us are hosting that. Okay. Everybody's just having a good time there. And they're like, you know, it's rare. Like you might meet, like it must be nice. You actually might meet a black dude that's interested in black women, right? But like for the most part, the overarching sentiment that I've heard is that it's very hard for black women in LA who are interested in black men to date them because they are just outside looking for anything but a black woman.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have to go back to New York and DC to remember that we fine. Like sometimes you be like, let me go back and walk the block real quick just to see if I still got it. And then
Well, okay, so how much of that? Okay, so that knowing that, okay, how much of that impacts your confidence in yourself?
Oh, it's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
sad.
Okay, so do you ever have to convince yourself that it doesn't matter what men think?
Sure.
Is that true though? Do you
I
feel
mean,
like that's true?
If you're interested in dating men, and if you're interested in dating black men, you will want to engage with black men. That's not like that's logical, right?
That's
like
logical.
so of course you want to feel seen by them. These are y'all like I should feel at home with y'all, right?
You
like
feel at home right now?
I do.
Okay.
love this.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Doing great. But
Doing great.
But y'all are all like amazing men that have really great partners too, right? But I think that there is a conversation that needs to be had
What is it?
about like, where is our disconnect? Like, I feel like our generation sometimes just has a little bit of a disconnect.
Yeah.
And I wish, because like, if we go off of the internet, we over here fighting over who's going to cheesecake and who's not going to like we are really getting distracted by really dumb things.
Correct.
First of all, love cheesecake. Let's not. That bread is busting. Stop playing.
The brown one,
Stop
though.
playing.
The brown
Stop
one, though.
playing.
The brown one, though, not the sour, though.
Yeah. No, the brown bread.
Stop playing
Hey,
with
hold
it.
on. So I can tell you what the disconnect is right now.
Uh-oh.
This thing you just said right now, there's not a lot of women saying that.
You think?
There's
No.
not a lot of women saying that.
Online or in person?
Online. Because we got to take online into consideration.
Right,
because
let's talk
everything-
online.
Everything, a lot of the banter and the discourse that you're hearing that influences how you think come from online.
Right,
'Cause
we're
you're not having conversations with all these black men in real life, so we're all watching the same videos online.
Right.
So it's just like these things are influences. So when we have the conversation of the cheesecake, it's like we're gonna see the women saying, "Don't take me to the cheesecake factory."
Right.
We're not gonna see enough women saying, "Hey, yo, don't worry about what they talking about."
But the women who really don't want to go to Cheesecake
They
Factory,
just don't like you.
no, they're not about to be in the comments fighting with nobody either.
That don't want to.
Right. Like, so say, okay, so I don't hate Cheesecake Factory.
Correct.
I'm not about to be on nobody's comment section.
Right.
Defending my life,
Correct.
talking about it either,
Cheesecake.
right?
Right.
Like I love cheesecake because, first of all, sponsor this episode, Cheesecake. I love cheesecake. We talking my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, must be nice to sponsor these nice and neat cheesecake.
Yeah.
But realistically, we protect our peace. We don't we know this is.
I got
we
you.
know this is a setup. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not really about to be in there like, nah.
Arguing with you. Go ahead. Do what you gotta do. It's
If
like
that's
marriage.
how y'all feel,
It's like marriage.
that's how y'all feel, and do what you gotta do. But like, this is not. The world as we know it is wildly different and scary. We're literally arguing about the wrong things.
Yes.
So I think the disconnect is like. And here's my thing also, there are good black men that want to date black women, and there are good men that want to date black women in LA. But they are also getting that cheesecake narrative.
Yes.
So they like, this is why I don't date black women. And then the black women are seeing that like, you know, whatever the latest narrative is online from a black man talking about black women shouldn't wear red lipstick or or a boosie, something. And then, so like there's a disconnect of where the people who are actually craving a good relationship with another human being that has sense and has purpose and has a heart, there's a disconnect of where to meet.
Yeah.
Like the internet hasn't always been the safest space for that. So that vulnerability.
The problem is the voices on the internet, we're allowing to speak for everyone.
Exactly, and they don't.
That's the problem, because we know that there's good women out here. We know there's good men out here, but first of all, before the internet, we've been influenced by media.
Right, always.
Right? So we've always been influenced by what we see on TV, even if real life is completely different. Right? So we didn't grow up with the chains and we saw those on TV, so we was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So now, right, especially with the boom of like podcasts,
Man.
especially since the pandemic, right, everyone's voice is loud now.
I know.
And there's virality is rewarded.
I mean,
And so And so we are getting on these mics and we're saying like, okay, we're just going to say the most extreme take
just to go viral
because we're trying to go viral, and those things take a life of its own.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we start believing those things.
Yep.
And I think that's the problem, because we're in happy relationships and we have this podcast, but like if we didn't have this podcast, I don't know how much we would add to the discourse of healthy relationships. So we would just keep our shit protected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's what we're saying.
But that's not really so like. But the problem is like, and it's not our responsibility.
Yeah.
But if you have a voice, then
it.
you should use it to provide like balance, because you always gonna think like it's worse than what it is.
I mean, speaking to that, I think even before people get on the mics, how we view men and women is a big problem. If you're a woman and you view a man as immediately like, what could you do for me?
That's a problem.
Cheesecake's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you like, yo, when I think about our life, when I think about that, I'm not doing cheesecake. Yeah. And if you look at a woman and you look at her and you be like, yo, do you look good enough for me to sleep with? That's a problem. That's the issue. So there is no, truthfully, when it comes to respecting human beings, just being human, and that's something that you're really big on, dude. Just being human, like, yo, I'm a human. Just treat me as a human.
Man.
Right.
And I feel like that is where the biggest problem is within the beginning of the discourse. Like, people are not even understanding where this discourse is coming from. Like, for example, I got single friends, and they just like, nah, bro, like, my first date, and I'm trying to take somebody on, is like a date to like a coffee shop, because I want to sit down, I want to talk to you, I want to get to know you. And on that list, the cheesecake list,
It's a coffee shop too.
is a coffee shop, because we still sitting here worried about, man, what's like Instagrammable? And like none of those things are, but like you're actually getting the value of getting to know somebody and talking to somebody and connecting with somebody. Like, it doesn't have to be this big extravagant trip or, you know, this big extravagant date. And I think that's one of the biggest problems, is we not looking at one another as brothers and sisters, as humans, and just, you know, like, I appreciate you saying you feel safe and protected around us, because that's a big deal for us. Like, we don't want people to come around and be like, I felt objectified, and like, it's like, I didn't care for those guys like that. Like, that's tough. But I feel like most women will feel like that when they're around men, and most men gonna feel they trying to use me. Like, the fact that a woman will show up and not have no money to a group dinner because they be like, some man there is gonna pay for it. That's not looking at me as a human.
It's looking at you as a check.
You know, so I think in the conversations, what's really loud is how we really view people. That's what's really loud. That's what's really showing. And people are typing their inner feelings and inner thoughts, and it's constantly getting to us, and that's what we're seeing. So it's cheesecake is not cheesecake. It's a representation of how people looking at people.
Yeah.
And it makes it very difficult, bro.
And most people are being influenced by like this culture of like just opulence that most people don't have access to. Like, if we being honest,
Let's be real.
most people have never been on a private jet. Me, I have not been on a private jet. I have friends who have, but I have not been on a private jet, right? Like,
Me, I've never been on.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Never been on one.
I'm not getting flued out to Paris overnight to go to a dinner at the Eiffel Tower. Like, it's just not realistic. And then if you try to put your life on that pedestal of like, I'm not doing anything but getting flown out, then like it leaves a lot of great people on the cutting room floor. I think we have to also understand that.
But then let me push back though. Like, if you're a woman, you're like, how is that my problem?
Sure, I mean,
that's not my problem. Like, I've suffered enough and I've endured enough. And
Sure.
And I'm tired of living in scarcity. I want to live in abundance now.
Yeah.
And all these women that live in abundance, they've been telling me this is what I need to do, so this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, hey, do what you got to do. If that's the thing that matters to you the most, then do it, right? Like, try to find the guy. If that's what you really want. But I think that there's a lot of amazing people that don't have access to a jet. Most people don't have access to a jet.
I mean, and the access to the, even if you do have access to the jet, that guy not making you his girl.
We don't know, right?
We also don't know that.
We don't know
We
any.
also don't know that.
I think also, Jelon, what you were saying about like the human part, I think we lose.
Some niggas,
Okay.
some niggas are.
Okay.
I think we're losing the recipes here on just like getting to know people for who they are, but also realizing that we all are just trying to figure this out. None of us know anything, really. Like, we're all just doing our best. I am not a therapist, but neither was Oprah. And, I know Oprah just got dragged for going to Bezos' wedding. But I'm just saying her show was good when it was good, y'all.
She did too?
Yeah.
Hey,
Everybody got dragged that win?
yes, nigga.
Why?
I was just having this conversation.
I mean, $1 billion.
Because he rented out Venice?
Listen, bro.
So y'all still not shopping at Amazon?
I didn't do enough research to do
When did I stop?
but I know that was wrong, Chad.
When did I stop? Me? Stop?
Stop.
Nah. But yeah, they dragged Oprah for that.
Yeah, but I'm saying Oprah gets dragged a lot right now.
Yeah, people don't like rich people, bro.
That's what it is.
People find
But rich people fine with that though.
Rich people find with
Rich people fine
To
with
be
that.
honest,
That's crazy.
Rich people might not even hear it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're not listening. But
They
I
be
think
like this. What?
That's
What did you say?
But I think what I'm trying to say is there's still effectiveness in people, and we have to find the nuance in the conversations again. Because we're not all one way. Not all black women are one way. Not all black men are one way. If we can find the nuance and meet each other in the middle, I think we'd be so much further off. We just get to a better space.
Amazing word.
Of
Nuance.
just, communal, like, understanding. I don't know that our parents got it perfect either in their generation, but they also, I don't think we're attacking each other like this in the way that we have gotten comfortable with. Like, it don't make no sense sometimes when I hop online and I see, why are we dragging each other? Like, quite literally, some people can go. But there are a lot of people in the middle of the conversation that are just bandwagoning on other people's ideas that actually don't feel that way.
Something you said that I love. You was like my homegirls, and you referred to your homegirls a few different times. How has your sisterhood and your community helped you in your healing processes, and how have you helped them in theirs?
Man, blacks, women's community, our sisterhood is a balm in this crazy world. It is safety. It is assurance. It is a blessing. Black women are really different, like amazing, in a way that like I will never like want to choose in any lifetime to be anything but a black woman. Like that's how much my sisterhood has enveloped me, given me space to become. My sisterhood has called me out and created space for me to be better. My sisterhood has held me in moments where I was sad and let me be sad. Also held me in moments when I was happy and let me be happy. And when we make mistakes, we call each other out, and in a loving way, like I didn't like that. Or we give each other space to grow and heal and move on. I was a part of a podcast called Black Girl Podcast, where we kind of did all of that in real time. And this was like 2017 when we were doing it, 2017, 2018. And when I say like the space we create for each other is literally like one of my favorite places to be. It's just there's no words for how much sisterhood means to me. Starting with my little sister, and then my best friends, then my community of women in this industry, then my friends who I've met along the way. I just have a lot of different levels of sisterhood that I get to, my big sisters that I get to experience on a daily basis, and I wouldn't be who I am without them. Like my sisterhood has exposed me to women who are like the top of their industry, and then it's exposed me to women who like even at the top of their industry like are still human beings. So it gave me space to be great and normal. It gave me space to be iconic and a mess. Like it just showed me that I don't have to just be, hi, I'm Gia Peppers, because I'm a whole person and I make mistakes, and like I might even say some things that y'all didn't like. Hey, love y'all. You can say whatever you want to say. This is conversation. But at the end of the day, I'm going to love me because I learned to watch how women love themselves at every step of the way, because they let me like in a way that I wouldn't have had without sisterhood.
That was amazing, by the way.
I really love
what do you want to see from us? And I don't mean like us three, but what do you want to see from us?
I love this space. I think what y'all are doing is so powerful. Like, y'all need each other in a way that, like, we don't talk about. I hate it when I meet black men and they're like, yeah, I haven't really seen my boys. And I grew up with, like, an amazing father and an amazing brother. And so I love black men. Like, my dad is the best dad to ever dad. Like, that's my guy, my best friend, one of my best friends in the world. He's a journalist. He's the reason why I'm a journalist. Like legit taught me about feelings and all the stuff. Like, my mom is the tough cookie in the relationship. My dad is the one that's like, come, let's talk. You know, I was his, I am his baby girl, right? So I also come from a really deep love of black men. So my love of black men still carries. And so I really want y'all to create more spaces like this. Like, I want, shout out to my brother Rodney Rakai, like, he's often doing that work of like creating spaces for black men to be more vulnerable, because the only way that we continue to grow is if both sides do our work. And black women, we having the healing conferences and all the things and stuff like that, like for real, like we doing the work, we going to therapy. There's Therapy for Black Girls was the first directory online that I think she launched it, Dr. Joy launched it in 2012. Like, do this together. Y'all gotta do this together. Like, we need y'all in a way that, like, sure, everybody's not perfect. No one's perfect, but we need each other. We really do. And that starts with y'all holding yourselves accountable. That starts with y'all being brothers. That starts with y'all checking in. That starts with y'all loving on each other out loud too, in a way that's not like judged. And maybe that's something that we all need to work on, not judging each other or whatever. But I think we need y'all, and we need y'all to like be well. So whatever that takes for y'all to be well, to be there for each other, to like show up, y'all are in a way that like is based in brotherhood and love and support and community. It's amazing. I love what Walk Good is doing. Walk Good LA, shout out to Etienne, like those men's healing workshops and the yoga. We are the generation that's gonna break chains. And I'm a churchy girl, but I mean it. Like, we are the first generation to have time to heal. Our parents were assimilating. Their parents were trying to create a whole new way of the world, especially in this country, to see black people. Yep. Their parents were trying to get out of sharecropping and Jim Crow and moving to different parts of the country. Their parents still probably dealing with, you know, slavery and all those different things. We are the first generation to be like, yo, I'm not good. I'm not okay. And we have time to do that. Our parents didn't have time to do that. What was healing? This check.
Yep.
Let's
take a walk outside.
Let's take a walk. They created the middle class and upper middle class that we know. Like, they didn't have time for that. Yep. We're the first generation to be like, first of all, we have enough time to be bored to hear our feelings. Like, we are the first generation to do that. We're the generation that's gonna figure out how to heal. That's why Gen Z can be crying on the internet, because we created the space to be like, I'm not okay. So I think the more that we continue to show up for each other, black women, black men, black people, non-binary people, the folks, everybody, the more we show up for each other, the more that we could create space to try and come together with understanding. But first, it has to be in the house. Like, it has to be with y'all. Y'all doing a great job, which is why I love y'all podcast. I think y'all do a great job of it. But I think we need each other to do our work.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned DC, you mentioned New York. I'm curious.
Oh, Lord.
You got a journalism background.
Oh, God.
What would your take be on Diddy?
Oh, God. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Can't just go all serious all the whole time.
What? That's very serious. That's extremely serious.
I have to know as a journalist.
First of all,
as a journalist, I have to know.
That's good.
Put the hat on now.
My entertainment journalism take is that I hope that what is happening in the courts, because I think this is the week that it deliberation. So I don't know what's gonna happen. What I do hope is that Diddy is held accountable for the crimes that he committed against other people. I think I don't know. I didn't get to follow the case specifically, because at some point I had to tap out, just because like what was like the stories that were being told were really graphic and tough to hear, right? What I hope is that the prosecution was able to prove their charges against him, and I hope that they were able to say, this is a RICO, this is wrong, this is the things that are happening. But from what I understood, in the last time, they were thinking about dialing back some charges. So that's kind of scary. I feel bad for all those who were harmed. I feel bad for those who worked for him that couldn't say anything for years. I feel bad for everybody that was harmed on the way. Like, my heart is with the victims of everything that happened. And I think one of the reasons why I kind of have pivoted out of entertainment fully, like, I'm still an entertainment journalist, but like, I really love the work that I get to do with Heal to Grow areas, because like, the news cycle is so crazy. We're being desensitized to this stuff as if it's normal, and it's not. It's just not okay. So I hope he's held accountable, because what he did was wrong.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it. But I don't have an entertainment journalist take on it, because I ain't been following. Like, I wish I could be like, well, yesterday in court, the prosecution said, blah, blah, blah. Like, I didn't. I had to tap out probably like 3 weeks ago. I tapped out, and I was just like, well, we'll see what happens with the verdict. But my heart is with the victims, and all those have been harmed.
I just want your thoughts. When it comes to healing, right? How much of... Do you feel like we should do a better job of what content we're digesting on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah.
Right? And how do you feel when people say, well, it's just entertainment?
Well,
where's the line?
Right. Okay, so here's the big thing, right? We're living through, like, very crazy times. I feel bad for us millennials, because I feel like we never have lived in just precedented times since 9/11, really since the Columbine shooting. Like, it just felt like ever since then, things have just been in an alternate timeline. I would like to get back on the other I don't know what timeline we on.
I feel like millennials have been in, like, hella different generations. I feel like we lived, like,
40 lives.
Through a bunch of shit.
We have. I mean, we've got 9/11. We've got...
it's only one era that I really could compare what we've been through, and it's like anybody who was like adultish in the 60s. That's the only time I could like think about that I was just like...
And even then...
Yo, like JFK assassination, Martin Luther King assassination, Malcolm X assassination, seeing segregation being ended, like, and seeing what, like... That's crazy. Like, that whole, I mean, the Italians, and if you was in New York, it was really crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I've talked to my like 90-year-old aunt about like what's happening right now, and she's like, we'll survive.
Yeah.
Like, it's very interesting to see that. But I think what made our entrance into the world different is like, a lot of us can't afford houses. Like to actually become adults. And we were promised a certain life once we got to this age, and ain't nothing happened.
And making money and can't get a house.
Like,
not a waitress.
Right. No, shout out to the waitresses. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. But I think that there is like, we got the rug pulled up from under us, and nobody's doing anything about it. Like, they're just like, well, good luck out there. All 4 of you live in that apartment. You're all 35. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, that's just what we are living through. But what I do think is we're the first generation to ever be able to access 3,000 energies in one opening of your phone.
Hello.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I can't wait to see what studies happen when we are like gone and passed on, when they study the differences of what happened to our brains.
You know, I recently saw something that they compared what we're living in right now, us as an adults, and social media to kids and candy.
Right.
And like, the reason why we don't give kids candy as adults is because we understand the effects of what will happen to that child when they consume the candy. But as adults using social media, we have no idea what kind of effects it will have on us if we consume it every day.
Right.
And I thought that was like such an interesting perspective, because it's new to all of us. And we all get dopamine hits from it every time you open up the app. You know what I mean?
New,
It's something new. So to me, that's really scary, because none of us have any idea of the effects that's going to have on us in 10, 20, 30 years.
I talk about this all the time with like different folks who are like also obsessed with mental health and healing. And I'm like, our parents' generation, like the generations before us, maybe knew 100 people. Like, maybe knew 100. Like, your aunties in them, and then you might go down to North Carolina every summer to see your grandparents.
And they was cracking if you know 100 people.
And like, in real talk, we engage with 100 people in one scroll. Like, when you open Instagram, you got 14 story updates. 20 people there. Then if you go to your next screen, you got threads. If you go like we are
That's a fact.
our
Don't open
brains.
up the comments. Now
That's
you get
400 people that you just.
2,000. That's 2,000 people. You
Then if you want a YouTube live or
Yeah.
Instagram live, you
Yeah.
are engaging with that
Yeah.
many people energetically. We have no idea what it is actually doing
Yeah.
to us, other than we know that anxiety is up, depression is up.
Mm-hmm.
We know that mental health is something we talk about more because we have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like we as a people, the world ain't okay. Like I think if you can turn on the news and say, this board might actually.
Yeah.
The world ain't okay. Like so that's why mental health is more of a conversation. That's why it is important that we do our work, because we are engaging with things that just were not there before. Instagram came out when we were in college.
Yes.
Yep.
Like Facebook came out when we were in high school, and we was getting like college kids to
Yep.
invite us.
Yep,
Like
facts.
we were like,
Facts.
yo, give me that
I need that
EDU.
EDU.
I need the
I need
EDU.
that
I need that
EDU,
EDU.
bro.
I need to put
Hey,
60
remember that
photos in this album.
Remember that EDU, bro.
But I say all that to say, we don't know. We have to be more active with our mental health, just because as humans we're engaging with things that we've never engaged with before on a level of connection that is not really meant to be in our bodies. Like it's just not good for us. So yes, what you consume does matter. Like I had to stop listening to certain rap songs because I was like, and I'm not even against rap. I like rap.
Same.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But there were just certain things that I was just like, this ain't even good for me to take in as a single woman. Like this don't even.
You're not even that nice. You think you that nice, but you're not that nice. you think you that in control, but you're not in that control like that.
Nah.
That shit influence you.
Yeah.
Nobody's that in control, bro.
Yeah, nah.
First thing you wake up, you're gonna put on that.
You think you could?
You're gonna put on that rap.
I got it. Nah,
Bro,
you got like
when I started really getting in control of that, I started going through workouts, listening to gospel music, and I was like, I used to tell myself I'll never be able to do that, and now it's like, bruh, I go through a whole workout and listen to gospel music because, man, you know, and growing up in the church, they tell you, hey, don't fall asleep with that music on your head. Like, don't do that, because when your body is in like that subconscious state, it's actually consuming way more, to your point, on what we consume, way more than what you're even aware of that you're consuming.
Yep.
So when you're working out, imagine when you're really just in like, kind of like, I'm just getting to it. I'm not even really paying attention. Your body is, though. You know exactly what's going on. It's like, I don't want to be consuming all that stuff like that, man, because that type of stuff rubs off. You go home and you're like, man, why am I super irritated with people like this right now?
Your subconscious mind knows everything you've seen or heard.
Yep.
That's why you dream.
Everything, bro.
And your body doesn't forget either.
Yeah.
Your body will not forget. Which is why people are always like, you got to process your trauma, your healing work. Like there's different levels of trauma work. It's a thing. Like you gotta, if you've been through a traumatic thing with your body, it will remember. And if you do not address it, it'll just keep staying there and festering, which is why certain people have ulcers and, you know, different things that develop in your body, because you're holding that in your whole being. If you don't process it, them little pains that come at your neck and things like that. Like I was in DC and I got a massage from a guy who was like very in tune, like a physical therapist, doctor, and he was just like, sometimes you just need to breathe into your pain because it's just a place you've been holding it. Like sometimes you just, if it's been in your neck, you just, and you just hold it there. Like it's just right there. So I was just like, even that, like it's just right there. And I think sometimes we overthink it. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta breathe and like let them things be present and think about them. But yeah.
Wow, Gia, thanks.
Thanks. I don't know what I said.
Nah, thank you for just thank you for blessing us. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, man. You came, and like Jalon, I hope you felt safe.
I did.
And protected, and you felt the warmth. And you know, thanks for sitting on the couch and just breaking bread and having a conversation with us. You know what I mean?
Oh, thanks.
It's been
Thanks. Y'all are
Yeah.
amazing. Congratulations on everything that y'all are doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
You can follow me on all socials at Gia Peppers, and the podcast is called Healed Girl Era Podcast, but on all socials is at Healed Girl Era Pod.
Okay. Is there anything that you have coming up?
Yeah. This season of Healed Girl Era Pod is in production. Okay. We're doing stuff, so just keep subscribing. We'll have some dope interviews coming out. But so far in this season, we've had Tasha Cobbs Leonard, and in our season before, we had Kelly Rowland, Danielle Brooks, Sarah Jakes Roberts, Dr. Anita Phillips, Dr. Joy. We create space for every version of ourselves, for every era. And so the point is, at the end of the day, we are getting through these eras together. Like, no one heals alone. So that's the point of it, to like just have more open conversations about what we're doing. So yeah.
For sure. Fellas?
I'm good.
Oh, thanks for coming ready to pod. Appreciate it.
Thanks
for
having
coming
me.
ready to pod.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
I don't know. Don't millennials do something? I mean, the Gen Z do something different? They do something like, I don't know.
Like this. Hey, but thanks for coming ready to pod. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thank you for listening. Make sure you check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. Much love, much gratitude. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Gia.
I'm Jalan. This is another episode of Nice and Neat, and that's that on that.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old and I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance, I stand. I'm gon' pull four in the fucking white sand. I give it all to this fucking mic stand. If it's been done before, then I know I can.